Hey guys, Jonathan here at Night Knowledge. Today's video will show you a complete run-through of an adventure in the Steam game Pathway. It's developed by Robotality and published by Chucklefish, the same publishers of one of my favorite games, Starbound. It's a single-player, 16-bit roguelite, turn-based strategy game. It's supposed to be fast-paced, be a fun squad skirmishes in early 20th century, have a pulp adventure setting, where you choose your own adventure story and where you'll encounter new events with each playthrough. Each time you play, your characters will earn more experience and become stronger. You'll find better equipment and help them in future quests. I meant to get this game when it first came out, but it had very few videos on it initially and it looked rushed. The first week reviews confirmed my fears, and it was rushed and it lacked depth. It was on sale last week, so I thought I'd give it a go, as there are a few content updates since launch, and I wanted to show you what you can expect in the game. So, as you can see, there are 5 different scenarios, at least right now. These 2 are unlocked because I have to finish this 3rd scenario right here. But what I'm going to do is, unlike most people who will show you just like the very first adventure, I'm going to go show you the second adventure instead. You're able to customize the game, whether with the combat size, so that means in terms of the amount of enemies. We got your resources supplies, because you'll be having to manage your supplies, such as fuel, which we'll talk about in a second, ammo and supplies, and finally the difficulty. So it will tweak how strong the enemies are, but that'll also help you with your loot. We'll just leave it at the default settings and we'll continue. And the first thing that you'll do each time whenever you play is that you're gonna pick your 3 party members. So as you can see, similar to most roguelite games, you're gonna have a stable of characters, and then you'll notice here there are some guys that have to be unlocked. I've unlocked quite a few guys, including, basically you start off with these 6, this top row here, and these 2 guys here, Pereira, and Miguel. And then everyone else was unlocked, but since I've played quite a bit, I've unlocked quite a lot of characters. But let's get started right away. We will pick, let's see, I'll pick my shotgun guy, Omar. We need a sniper of sorts. I'll pick Bellamy. And the last person I'll pick is a melee person. We need to level up Shani, so we'll pick her as well. So one thing you'll notice with each character, they have their own health, they have armor based on their armor that they're wearing, and they have what is called bravery, which I believe is based off, willpower. So bravery will give you points to use that will allow you to activate certain skills. Talking about skills, each character has their own set of skills. This guy has skills in assault rifles and shotguns, although you can only have 1 weapon equipped at a time, including 1 item. Most characters have only skills in 1 type of armor, so he has skills in heavy armor. He can use repair kits in battle, and he has the grenade skill. So if you don't have the grenade skill, you can't use grenades. He also has perks of Ancient Languages and Brute. So as we talked about, there will be adventures or like places where you can make certain decisions, and you might need the Brute perk or the Ancient Languages perk to trigger certain things, which we'll see hopefully in this playthrough. So if we look at the skill tree, as I said, characters will gain experience through just random exploration and fighting other enemies, and it'll unlock levels for you. So this guy's level 2, and she has already picked First Aid as her special ability and Dash. So as you level up, you'll get to pick from more skills or more perks. So I believe we're looking at Omar, and he's my shotgun guy, so we're going to probably go into more shotgun based specializations. So there are some more stats here. Um, when you level up, you don't specifically gain more stats, but it's based off the gear that you've equipped. So as you can see, this heavy armor gives bonuses to vitality. So vitality determines the character's health points. I can spend 2,000 bucks and reset my skill tree if I want to respec for a certain way, or whether maybe I screwed it up the first time around. And I can dismiss. I don't know why I would dismiss them. I think dismiss means to take them out of the party so I can put someone else in. So we're going to stick with that. Just so you see, we have Bellamy. He is an American inventor. We have him because he's using this, what's it called? Disintegrator weapons. And you'll see why I like using it. And then we have Shani, which as you can see is our melee person. We don't have a better knife for her yet. Other characters have, let's see, knives. Better knives. Someone does. She does. Brunhilde has a better knife, but we just recently got Shani, so she's not well equipped enough yet. We could take the items out of Brunhilde and give it to Shani, but that's okay. Shani's quite good because she does have high agility, meaning that she'll be able to run very far in combat, and she has relatively high reflexes so that she will evade a lot of enemies' attacks. Let's just continue right now. And when you select a depart, it'll show you what you have in storage. So in my storage I have quite a few weapons, and from prior adventures. It carries over every single adventure, and you won't lose it. But I don't believe I need this heavy armor combat vest, so I'll send it to my valuables. You'll notice my valuables is empty right now. I'll send it there, and when I go to a selling place, I can sell my valuables and it'll give me more money, which will allow me to get more supplies, which include fuel, ammo, and supplies. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. They don't really need anything right now. So let's see, let me just double check. We have, let's see. So no one can heal, which is fine. We'll depart right now so you can just go straight into it. Look at the map right now. You'll notice 1, 2, 3. One of the big complaints at the beginning of launch was that the game is really short. And at first I was like, yeah, it is really short, because the very first mission or first adventure, there's only one map to play. But if you notice this one, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 maps you actually have to do. So this will actually be significantly longer than the very first adventure, but I'm only going to show you the very first map because otherwise this would be a very long video. So let's continue. Your vantage point on a hill.
Vantage point on the hill provides an excellent view of the heights and valleys of Palestine. A large cloud of dust on the dirt track below marks out a large German convoy.
Okay, let's begin adventure. So this is the map. You gun your engine. You have no intention of losing the race for the wrath of God. Done. Okay, so you start here. You'll always have a start location, and then you're gonna take turns picking a location to visit. You can visit a new location or a previous location. So if I go here, I can't go anywhere else other than back to where I began. And the objective each map is to get to this X over here without running out of fuel. Each time you go to a location, it'll use up 1 fuel. There will be times that you'll get fuel as loot, or sometimes you'll have a bad outcome and you'll lose fuel. Knock on wood, I've only seen that happen once or twice where you lose fuel, but it's very little. And most of the time you'll be getting more fuel than you'll need. So let's start off by going straight away to the closest point. Somewhere in the desert. After an endless drive along dusty tracks, you hear a disturbing, rhythmic clatter from the engine. Moments later, it dies with a tortured howl, and your Jeep slowly rolls to a stop. You stare at each other in alarm. So, you have a few options in your story, and because one of my characters here, I believe it is Omar, no, is Bellamy. Bellamy is the engineer. He has an engineer perk, so that actually allows him to do a special option instead of just what's the problem. If we select what's the problem, we might just we might get something bad that happens. We might get something undesirable that happens, or maybe something good. But we're gonna pick Inspect Engine because it's based off a perk, and as it says there in the tooltip, usually something better happens when you select that. So we're gonna inspect the engine thanks to Bellamy. Bellamy tears open the bonnet to let the engine cool down and peers at it, brow furrowed. I think I know what the problem is. A few minutes later, you are driving along at top speed again. So nothing bad happened. This is just like a story that you're experiencing. So we're gonna go closer to the next area. Some dusty huts. On your journey, you pass some huts with several boudin perched on their mud walls. You exchange polite greetings. The men nod when you inquire about the German expedition. The foreign soldiers stayed overnight in our village. Some of the men were unhappy. They were complaining among themselves. Something about their journey scared them. At the signal to depart, one of them began to rant openly at their leaders. The old man points to the palm grove behind you. You turn to see a mound of freshly dug sand. I don't see it anywhere. That is all that remains of him. The old Bedouin shrugs thoughtfully. The other soldiers had no further objections. Okay, so now we have a fork in the road. I think what I'm gonna do is, so you'll see on the map there are either spaces with nothing, and or there's these ones right here, and there's something special that may happen at the ones with this type of icon, this question mark icon. This icon over here is usually some sort of combat adventure, while this is more of a story-based event. Over here, the bag is predictably a place where you can sell, and over here is where you can pick up another character. So as you see, we have 3 characters, we can pick up a 4th. So, you know, more characters always means more DPS. So that is probably something we'll try to do. So I'm going to try to show you as much as I can. What I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to go to this location here, and we're going to make our way towards here to pick up this character. And hopefully that will not cause us to be too off sidetracked, and we'll have enough gas to still make it to the end. Because we only have 13 fuel right now, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So if we gain no fuel in the entire adventure, we will not be able to make it to the end. If you don't make it to the end, the only bad thing, as far as I'm aware, is that the 3 characters that you have, they will be unavailable to you for the next adventure. But once you're done that adventure, they'll be back. Which I've played this quite a few times. I've never encountered that. So let's just get straight to the point. We'll go to adventure, or go to this spot here. An excavation site. In the shade of a palm grove, you sneak up to the enemy camp. As you peer through the bushes, you see a sprawling, apparently deserted archaeological site, but then you spot a few guards patrolling the area. Now, we have the choice of investigate the camp and withdraw. If you withdraw, usually, once again, I almost never pick this option. Nothing should happen if you withdraw, but then you don't get any rewards, and you kind of need it. So, and combat, you'll see, isn't too hard. So we're going to investigate the camp. Just as you are about to discuss what next to do, you hear a metallic click behind you. You turn around in dismay to see half a dozen rifles pointed right at you. The squad of German soldiers has a prisoner. An officer stands off to the side. German officer. It always pays to be thorough. So, we only have the option to attack at this point. if we had the Daredevil perk, then we would have been able to do something special, but we don't. So we're just going to attack, and we're going to show you the first combat. So you'll notice that the word tumult came up. So what that means is that when you enter combat, it'll be one of three things. Either it'll be advantage, tumult, or ambushed. So, and what that means is that it just means a different start to combat. So tumult means that there is an equal opportunity for both sides, you versus the enemies. Whereas if you have advantage, that means your enemies can only move or shoot, but they almost always move first to get into cover, while you'll have a full turn of movement and shooting. Because let's place first, and I'll talk more about that. So what I always do is I always check to see where my enemies are. So we have a guy down here right next to us. We have a dog. We have another guy right there. And guys, so in a way, we're kind of surrounded. I'm going to put a guy, let's see. Okay. I'm going to put them close together, relatively close. Actually, no. I'll have Bellamy here. I'll have Shani right next to the enemy. And I'll have this shotgun guy right here. So after you place your guys, the enemies get to go first. But they will almost always move into cover, which is smart, rather than shoot out of cover. It'll always be all of your team versus all of versus all of your enemy's team. It's I forget how XCOM works, whether it's based off initiative, off individual characters. So we have Bellamy, we have Omar, and we have Shani. So let's try to get this guy first that ran out of cover. So you could always move, and then you can always attack afterwards. So Shani has three options: a basic knife attack. She can use 2 bravery out of the 3 that she has to do a bleed action, meaning that she'll do damage and cause a bleed. These shock troopers are typically pretty easy, so I don't think I'm going to need to do bleed. And we can also do sudden strike, which is, if you read it, basically if anyone tries to melee her first, she'll melee them, causing an interruption in their attack. So I'm just going to do a basic knife attack. I believe that should be enough to defeat the shock trooper, because she does a base of 29 damage and 100% chance to hit. So yeah, he's dead. So he's dead, and now let's see what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to be aggressive because I'm gonna try this. Omar's gonna run into cover. You can tell you're in cover because of the shield symbol right here. That there'll be 2 types of shield symbols, one like this and one with an X on it. The one with the X means that you can't peer over it. It makes a very, very small impact in the game, nothing too crazy. Oh, and this guy does have a grenade. So what we're gonna do is we can do a basic ranged attack on the guys within the shotgun blast. We got the actual ability shotgun blast, which we could try to target both of them, or we can do throw grenade, and it'll always be in a 3x3 box. So this will use our supplies, and our supplies are relatively low right now. So I think I'm just going to try shotgun blast, see if we can hit both the enemies. And we missed. Good thing we have Bellamy right here. I'll put him a little bit closer. And I'm going to do a ranged attack on him. Very low chance to hit though, which is not good. I have Meltdown, but it'll only shoot in a line. But this is quite a powerful ability, which is why I like guys with the Disintegrator ability. Punch, Quantum Leech. Attacks enemy and turns 50% of body damage to health, which we don't need to do right now. So we're just going to try a basic attack on him. And when he's equipped with this Valkyrium crystal, which does additional damage, and I believe one of his other skills increases his damage. So when Bellamy does hit, he hits extremely hard, being that he's also equipped with legendary weapons, legendary disintegrator, his offhand item, and an armor, which gives him additional dexterity and brute. But I believe Omar has brute as well. So all of our guys have now moved and or attacked, and now we end our turn for our enemies. The dogs will be able to run, and I don't believe any of them are close enough, even though they can go very far to attack. Nope, they can't. What happened to that other dog? I thought I saw another dog over here. Maybe we defeated it. I'm not too sure. So we'll move Shawnee first, and we'll just dash her all the way. Actually, we should have used the sprint ability, but it's no big deal because she doesn't need to do anything. So now we'll pick Omar again. Let's see. I think what we're going to try to do is this. He's going to rush towards this wall, and then... Oh, he has no range. He doesn't have the range, but he could throw a grenade. No, he can't throw a grenade either. Oh, it's because of the wall, so he can't see behind the wall, but neither can this enemy. But if he moves, I think, if he pivots anywhere else, he could probably shoot Omar. So, not the best, but you know what? Oh, you know what? It's because he has no ammo. So, I should have paid closer attention to that. It's because his shotgun blast targeted 2 enemies. He used 2 bullets. It's okay though. We're going to use Omar or Bellamy now, and we're going to shoot the dog. One of the good things about Bellamy's disintegrator is that unlike other bullet-based guns, the disintegrator doesn't have ammo, so he doesn't ever have to reload. Okay, the shock trooper moves, and he'll be able to shoot... No, he still can't shoot Omar, which is fine with us. Omar, can you shoot him? No, he can't shoot him either. He'll get closer. And one of the things I like about this game is that it's less punishing than games like Mutant Zero Year or XCOM. I love those type of games, those squad-based tactical games, but I feel like they're very punishing in that it says 95% chance to shoot, but it's a lot less than 95% chance. So as you see in Pathway, it is a lot simpler. It's a lot more forgiving as well. And sure, it's less challenging, but it's also less frustrating. And I'll typically play a game on normal difficulty to have fun. You know, I'm not there to frustrate myself. You know, my best friend Eric, he always, like, no matter what game he plays, I feel he always plays on the hardest difficulty, and that makes him amazing. But at the same time, it's a much slower way to play, and when you lose, I feel like it's more frustrating, obviously. So, I did that too fast. So, I got some. So after any combat specifically, you'll earn gear, and I revealed all the gear, and I selected take all. I'll do it slower next time. Basically, some was armor, or sorry, some was ammo, some was supplies, and some was gas, which you notice it should be a little bigger or higher now. And let's see, we also got this gun, which is a common disintegrator. I have 2 characters that can use disintegrators. Both they're equipped already with legendary weapons, which is kind of odd. They got the legendary weapons through only doing the what's it called, the very first adventure, which is a very short adventure. So I feel like hopefully the developers, they should, one thing I'd recommend for them to do is maybe decrease the gear quality in the very first adventure. Maybe let you get more legendaries, epics and legendaries in at least the second adventure, like the one we're doing here. So we took all the items, and you can see what's inside of there. We can't take it out though. And my Jeep has up to 3 storage. I'd have to spend $5,000 to open up this third spot. I've already paid $5,000 to open up this first Jeep storage, which is very helpful in early game, which I didn't realize, because I believe the max cash to this game is only 9,999. So I was at max for quite a while, and I didn't realize that it didn't go any higher, and that I could have spent it on the Jeep upgrade. So you release the prisoner from his bonds, and he shakes your hand effusively. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Things would have gone badly without you. Hey, you look like you could do with some help. I don't suppose you have room for another passenger? So, I have never encountered this yet. Actually, I have encountered this, but I wasn't able to save the person. So, it looks like from this specific event, I was able to recruit or add someone to my team, which is actually a previous character in the character selection screen. I could have selected Baron as part of my group, but now I can add him as my fourth member. So this is great. Now I have a sniper to my team. Okay, so technically now that we've done that, we don't have to go here to pick up this character. And from my understanding, it should only be characters that you've unlocked. I don't believe you're going to unlock characters that, or get characters that you haven't unlocked yet. So we'll just beeline it towards the X now that we've gotten our fourth character, and it reveals that it is going to be a combat due to that symbol there. A desert temple. As you explore the ancient temple, you discovered among the desert dunes, you run straight into a detachment of soldiers. They are just as surprised as you are. So from the way you read it, you could already know what type of combat start will be, which should be a tumult. Okay, so which it is. So at the beginning of each phase, you have to place your guys. So I'm gonna take a look at where my enemies are, which looks like the bottom right. There's no one flanking us from behind. So the first guy I need to place is Bellamy. I can't show you his disintegrator weapon yet, so I'm gonna put him here. Notice that the shield was above him, so if enemies were shooting from above, north of him, then he would have a bonus to his defense. But right now, that's not the case. But that doesn't matter because enemies almost never shoot on the very first turn. So I'm going to run them into position over here afterwards. So we have Shani here. I think she can move behind here, so she'll be going for this guy. And Omar. Oh, I forgot that we have 4 guys. Okay. So the enemies get to move now, and they predictably move into cover. Also, what I like about this combat is that it's fast. You know, like, notice how the enemies move fast. The shooting and damage taking is really fast. What's it called? Battletech, one of my favorite themed games, you know, which is robot games, has a new expansion coming out in a few weeks. And my best friend and I have been talking about it, and it got me in the mood to play Battletech again. I re-downloaded it, and I played it for literally like the first mission, and I stopped it and I uninstalled it because the combat was too slow. Yes, you want to see all the lasers and missiles shoot at each other, but the combat was far too slow, and that's the whole game. Combat should be much faster, I feel, in that game. But you should also be able to see the damage that you deal in a much faster way, and it doesn't do that. It kind of hides the damage from you, numbers wise. Maybe it's supposed to be more visual, but I like the combat, as you can see in Pathway. So let's see. Let's move Shani first. We're gonna move her. She can move really far, so she can cause some crazy damage. But I don't think her colleagues can do that. So we're gonna move Omar up. And let's see, can he can't blast. So we'll just shoot this guy. One shot kill. We're gonna move Baron into position. And he's equipped with a sniper rifle. One of his special abilities is ambush. Using 1 bravery, basically we select a cone, and any enemies that makes an action, whether it's move or shoot, he's going to shoot at them first, interrupting them. If if someone outside of the cone shoots him while he's in ambush mode, it'll disable his ambush. So so the enemy's colleagues can go and attack him instead, or run through that cone. So I'm going to target all the guys in the cone. So he doesn't get to shoot, but he does get to, basically anyone that's in this cone can't move. Or maybe one of them can move, but it'll cause him to shoot at him, and the rest of them can then open fire on Baron, or maybe the guys that's over here. We still have Bellamy though. I think what we're going to do, so this is like a row of, this is like a wall that we can hide behind, which we can also run through as well. I think what we'll do is we'll move him here. And I'll show you the meltdown ability. The meltdown is pretty cool. I could have just ranged him, but I'm going to show you meltdown. Basically, it'll shoot the entire map in one line. So it'll hit both enemies and friendlies. And what's special about it, if you think that's overpowered, because it kind of is that each successive hit does 40% less damage. So the first person will be hit with full power, but then everyone else will be hit with 40% less each successive hit. So we'll just shoot it so you can see. And despite it look like it missing, it still hit him. And the shock troopers are the weakest, technically weaker than actually normal Nazis. So we'll move Shawnee in position and we'll bleed. And it kills him. And my team is done. So now it's going to be the enemy's turn. And if they move or attack, they'll get shot at. And that guy died. But now the medic's able to run through the cone and not get attacked by Baron. Baron though, he can't shoot him from where he is. Let's see. I don't think anyone can shoot. Yeah. The only person that can shoot this Nazi or the medic over there is Omar. And he can just do a normal shot. And he's equipped with a very powerful shotgun. So if he hits anyone, he's gonna take them out. One weird thing at the end of each combat is it gives you the option to reload all weapons. I've never encountered a situation yet, at least, where I don't want to reload all my weapons. So it shows you damage, it shows you the stuff, damage dealt, shots accuracy, evades, crits, time taken. Nothing really important to me. We're going to go back to map. Okay, so we'll do it slower this time. As you can see, at the end of the combat, there's some loot, and there's no reason not to show to pick them up. So we're going to open them all up, which is a monocle worth 75 bucks. We got a blue knife, which I believe Shawnee's going to be able to use. Large ammo box, so we have 59 ammo. I believe a little bit less than what we started with at the beginning of combat, so this will fill it up. And we got some car fuel, which as we talked about, we need to make sure we're getting fuel since we're going kind of like off the main route, or off a beeline route to the end. So take a look at fuel. Fuel's at 11, fuel's 12 now. Large ammo box will give you 25? I think that's 25. 25 ammo. When we pick up, that actually wasn't a usable knife. That was actually just like valuables. We'll take the rest, and we're done. We technically, if we wanted to, we can go back to a previous spot and go a different way, but I want to just keep pushing the story forward, getting us closer to the end so you can see what the end is. Somewhere in the desert, the unsuspecting German courier walks right into your arms. He probably thought you were stragglers from the German convoy. You tie him up and search his document pouch. You come across a letter from the German Research Center for Materials Science in Berlin. Our research shows that Valkyrium, a hitherto unknown element, is something completely outside our periodic table. With an atomic weight of 500, Valkyrium is by far the heaviest known element. Its immense energy density is a scientific sensation. In short, theoretically, we know of no more efficient energy supply, but we still lack the means to effectively exploit this energy. When handling Valkyrium 500, we must warn you expressively against overheating. We will inform you of any further research results. So that's just a story to help you understand. Because remember, we are racing towards this Wrath of God weapon that the Germans are trying to find as well. And you don't want the Nazis finding weapons. So, a village in the desert. The village is in a state of great excitement due to the arrival of a traveling merchant. The merchant waves you over and spreads his wares out in front of you. So we can trade, we can sell all of our valuables, no reason not to, and we can buy more fuel. Each fuel will we're not getting 5 fuel for 125. It's each fuel is 125. Same thing with the ammo and the supplies. Since I have a lot of money, I'm gonna get an additional supply. I don't think we'll need it, but that's for supplies are used for if you have healing items or repair items in your Jeep, you can use that to heal or repair your characters outside of combat, or it's used inside of combat if it's equipped on those characters. It'll use 1 supply each time. So we have 7 supplies. The max you can hold is only 9. So we're near the max already, and I'm quite sure we're going to get more supplies throughout our adventure, and we'll be getting more than we're actually using. So there's two armor available. One is a heavy armor, one's a light armor, and my guys are, we can take a look. Baron has legendary armor, epic, epic, and legendary, so we don't need new armor. And then, so I am going to pick up more fuel. You know what? Better safe than sorry. Because, yeah, I always say better safe than sorry. And we're going to keep moving. The detachment of soldiers in the ruins ahead of you are completely unaware of your approach. An attack is the last thing they'll expect. So we're going to attack, and you'll notice this time it'll say advantage. So that means that, I believe that means that the enemies will get to move while we'll get to move and attack. So Bellamy, let's see, where's our enemies? To the top. Only 3 of them? Oh, we gotta watch out for this guy in the top left. Oh, and it's a strong guy too. We can't see it, but that is a different looking enemy up here, and he's a stronger guy, so we might need a few guys to concentrate fire on him. So, oh, yeah, there's two different, there's 2 of these guys, so these guys are a little bit stronger, so we can't play too aggressively. Maybe with some of our guys. We'll do Omar and that guy there. Okay, so, oh, so we actually get to move and shoot first, which is better. Okay, so 100% chance to shoot. Medic's down. So he could choose to walk still, or he can use 2 bravery to go to low profile, which as you see, guaranteed evade on only on the next attack. So someone could shoot him to take it off, and shoot him again to attack him. But he's not going to do anything. Baron, though, he can actually shoot this guy from where he is because he's got a sniper rifle, and he should be able to beat it. 1 shot. Okay. So despite the fact that these guys are very powerful, Tesla Borgs, my guys, since they're equipped with very powerful weapons, it's much easier. But let's go here. Actually, she can't reach him. If we use bravery, we can rush him, which we'll do. So she's using sprint, so she can run a little bit farther. And unlike other squad-based tactical games, when you sprint, at least in this game, it's a skill which still allows you to attack. So, which is what we're gonna do. And he's dead. He's done. Baron has Vanish, which allows him to, you know, be invisible until the next round, which is great, I find, for melee characters. But we don't need to use it. We could. There's only one enemy left on this map, so you'll notice that unlike, you know, BattleTech, unlike Mutant Zero Year and XCOM, combat is much shorter, which is what I prefer, because I'm looking for more of a story game. So the medic is typically equipped with just a pistol, and we'll just finish this combat by rushing him with Omar, using a ranged attack. 65% chance to attack, but it's good enough. Combat's done. With the stats, we'll reload weapons as usual, and back to map. So, loot again. We got a knife, we got some more supplies. So, remember how I talked about supplies? And we got some raunchy photograph, which will go straight to our valuables. So, okay, maybe maybe supplies, I think maybe supplies is 10 or 12. 10 or 12 is the max. So we're okay for now. If you ever can't take any more supplies, ammo, or fuel, it'll stay up there. But then you'll get the chance to actually go use your characters and like maybe use your supplies. So I can use this on a character and use up some supplies and then re-loot it. So I really like that about the game. Some games, you know, if you can't loot it, that's too bad for you. Even though logically, hey, if I have too much supplies, let me use some of it, heal up, repair up, and then like load up the rest of your supplies. So I really like that about the game. Next location. Somewhere in the desert. You're making excellent progress and morale's high. A realization suddenly hits you. You didn't drive past those palm trees. Oh, didn't you drive past those palm trees a while back? Yes, those are your tire tracks. You've been driving in circles. So as you can see, as we talked about, we lost one fuel for going to the place, and then the event or the thing that happened was you lose an additional fuel. So but as you noticed in our other loot situations, we gained additional fuel, and we're going to come across a combat situation here, probably an ambush. A deserted village. The old camp in the ruins ahead of you seems deserted. You're not sure whether to trust in the apparent peacefulness of this place. Suddenly, a detachment of soldiers emerges from the shadows with weapons drawn and mocking grins on their faces. You've walked into an ambush. So this time, in this combat, you're going to notice that it's going to say ambush, which means that I believe all we get is a move, and then our opponents will get to move and shoot. And we're in a really bad positioning space because they're really close. So I'm going to place this guy here. I'm going to place her right in harm's way, as with Omar, and I'll place my sniper over here. So see, I still get to go first, but I get only one thing. I get to either shoot or move, and most of the time it's better to get into position and cover. But I have very powerful guys, so we are going to kill him. I didn't need to bleed him. And then this guy, see, Shiny can't do anything else. She could have only moved or attacked. So that's why we're attacking everyone. And he's dead. So despite technically being ambushed, we've killed 2 out of the 5 guys already. I'm gonna shoot the dog. Some animals were harmed in the making of this game. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I wanted to get Bellamy closer to attack this attack dog, but remember, we only could have moved or attacked, so not paying attention. So the dog's going to run right into Omar, most likely. Oh, and I forgot this guy. I didn't see that guy. So I think because my party has very strong armor, they take very little damage. So now we get to do our full attack. Okay, and Omar, oh wait, so notice how there's this cone or this red area? That means that this guy over here, if you weren't paying attention, he used the ambush skill, just like how Baron has it. So anyone that walks into this area or is already in this area and does an action, whether it's move or attack, they will get shot at and interrupted by this guy. But guys outside of the cone can, say, attack him, like Shani will, interrupt him, and now notice there's no cone. So we can now concentrate fire on him, or we can get closer to our enemies and kill him. Baron is left. Baron should be able to shoot him, 100% shot. And enemies are done. So despite being ambushed, we took very little damage. We got a dog bite and 1 graze, and we defeated them. So that guy said something. That means that he leveled up. So if you notice at the bottom, they all earned experience after this one. So we'll talk about that in a second. So we got a fountain pen, which is just valuables. We got a silken handkerchief, more money. We got a large ammo box, so that should take us... Oh, maybe 90 is the max for ammo. I've never run out of ammo, but as we talked about, this specific adventure has at least 3 more maps. So you have to make that ammo last, or hopefully it'll last that long. I've never ran out of ammo though. I've run out of fuel, or been close to running out of fuel, but never ammo, and almost never supplies. So we'll take all the items. They were all valuables except for this. I don't need a tarnished pocket knife, so we'll send that to the valuables too. Once you put in the valuables, there's no way to take it out. So make sure you are aware when you're paying attention. So we're done. And now let's talk about the guy that leveled up. So as you can see here, this is the experience of all the characters. Bellamy's level 5, Shani's a new character which we unlocked is level 2, Omar just turned level 3, and Baron's level 5 as well. So we're going to level up Omar so you can see what happens. So we're on level 3, and these are the existing skills that he has. These are the perks, that's the stats, he has taken a little bit of damage and a little bit of armor damage as well. So we talked about this guy. He can use both assault rifles and shotguns. And right now I think there are more people in my entire party, not this party here, but the entire pool of characters that uses assault rifles. So I'm going to make this guy a shotgun specialist. We have the option of increasing the magazine size or increasing the crit strength. I think we're going to go for crit strength. I forget what triggers one of these. I think crit strength is based off the actual weapon itself, not through stats. If it was anything, it would be, I imagine, dexterity, better aim, improved hit probabilities. So I'm going to go with, I don't care about the magazine size, but this might come to bite me in the butt later, like in late game, but I could always respec by just paying 2,000. So we're going to select the shotgun critical strength, plus 14. We're going to confirm, and we're done. So let's continue. We're going to beeline it. Somewhere in the desert, between the crooked huts of a deserted village, you find a dusty old wrecked car. The passenger door screeches as you pull it open. What a pile of garbage. You tap at the tank anyway to check for gasoline. So once again, we have a few options. As you can see here, if we didn't have an engineer, remember, I believe Bellamy is the engineer, which gives us a special option. If we didn't have anyone with engineer, we'd only have this option where random chance, something good will happen, something bad will happen, or maybe nothing. But I'll always pick the special option. So Baron actually looks like he has engineer as well. You're in luck. The engine actually starts, but a few yards on, it gives up the ghost, this time forever. You turn, and to your surprise, you notice a cellar entrance that was previously concealed under the car. You clamber down the steep steps into a long-forgotten storeroom. Eagerly, you start your search. And there's 3 loot. More car fuel, nice. Antique supplies, so that's going to add to our supplies, and a large ammo box. So we're going to see whether, yeah, so 90 is the max ammo that we can have. Our guys have already reloaded, so we can't really make more use of the ammo box. So this will be one of those cases where you just leave it. Okay, we're going to keep moving. A deserted temple. You come across an abandoned desert temple. As you explore the structure, you encounter a squad of soldiers searching in its halls. They have not noticed you as of yet. So, we have the choice. We're always going to ambush. It'll say advantage for us. So we should be able to get a full turn before they get to do anything. So let's take a look at where our enemies are. So as you can see, there's no one behind us. There'll only be people in front of us. So I'm going to try to show you something special with Bellamy. Okay, let's pay close attention. So notice this enemy right here. He's in this line. I'm going to put him here, close to the wall. There's no place that he can really be. I prefer him to have the defensive bonus on his left side, because that's obviously where the enemies will be shooting him from. So he's basically exposed right now. But the reason why I do this is because maybe, except for Baron, who has a sniper rifle, we can use the meltdown to shoot the entire line of the map. So we're going to use it to shoot someone we normally couldn't shoot. And we killed him. So now we're going to put Baron up in front. And since we can't shoot anyone, we're going to do this. So that if the enemy here or here moves into the cone, Baron will shoot them. Okay, we still have Omar. Oh, I forgot. I didn't realize those guys are so close. Shani just can't reach him. Oh, but we forget. Let's see. What do you think? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to flank him with a sprint. And I'm not too sure whether a knife attack... A basic knife attack should be able to kill the medic outright. I find armor has a less of an impact in this game than you'd think. It's supposed to decrease the damage you take, but I don't really feel it does that. So they should the developers should look into that, into possibly balancing that, making armor more important. So I'm going to throw a grenade at this guy because I don't think his shotgun would have been able to reach, but that wasn't enough. And grenades don't do any, they don't do bleed damage. So our enemies are going to move, they're going to move closer. And the great thing about Shani, my melee girl over there, is that she has really good reflexes. So knock on wood, I feel like a lot of enemies, even though they're shooting point blank, they do very little damage to her. So we're going to do point blank shot. And let's see. Can any of my guys see? The enemies can see how far my guys can shoot, apparently. We'll move closer. And Bellamy. Oh, we missed. Okay. We're out of range. We'll go into this corner here and hope 100% we can... Yeah. Baron has very high dexterity, I think, which means that he has very good aim. But it doesn't matter because it's not enough. But I believe Shani... so you will regenerate your bravery, I think, naturally and from doing special actions. So even though the sprint used 2 bravery last turn, she has 1 more. So we can sprint back into action and finish off this wounded Nazi before he can act. We'll just do a basic knife attack. The bleed attack required 2 bravery, so she wouldn't have been able to do that anyways. The medic's all alone, and he's going to shoot Shani and do only 2 damage. So she's going to take revenge. I believe the way I unlocked Shani was by getting 75 melee kills. So, okay, we're done. We reload, and we're going to get loot now. Oh, and I think she leveled up. We got a legendary sniper rifle, but I don't believe this is better than what Baron has, so we're going to see in a moment whether it's worth it. We got some cash, we got some more ammo, which we're not hurting for. We got more gas, which is great. So we're going to take all items. We're done. And now we'll check our guys. Let's check Baron first. Over here, he's equipped with this sniper rifle here. And we're going to check to see. I love the way that it shows you very quickly what's the difference between the guns. This legendary rifle has, I believe it has more ammo, does it not? Yeah, so one thing it's showing you is that it has better magazine size, but it does less armor shredding, less accuracy, only a little bit, less crit damage, and ambush reach is higher though. Oh, that's interesting. So we can ambush farther. But it does do 5 damage less. And I like the damage this guy does. So quickly looking at Baron, his skill tree, he took increased crit chance and increased crit strength. So he'll be critting a lot. So we can try it out. Let's try it out. I'll just show you. I'll just show you what it is. It does a little bit less damage. That's what is it? A 6 less damage. And let's level up Shani. So Shani leveled up. She's level 3 now. She has the option of Vanish and Dash. Dash will allow her to move and not trigger ambushes, which is great, but Vanish is even better. The reason why Dash is better in a way, or would be better than Vanish, is that it only uses 1 bravery versus Vanish will use 2. Right now, let's close that actually. Oh, Shani doesn't have it. I was thinking about my other character who had a special item that makes her invisible when makes her invisible or gives her the invisibility skill. So Shani actually doesn't have it, so let's give her that. And Shani's now significantly stronger. Okay, that's it. We're going to keep going. We're nearing the end. You can see the X to the right of the screen. Somewhere in the desert, a few foundation walls are all that remains of the temple complex, half buried in the sand and rocks. You search the area, but apart from a small rock altar, you find nothing of importance. So we can search the area is the only option. If we had a person with the perk Forbidden Lore, we'd have an option. If we had someone with Sixth Sense, we'd have another option, but we don't. But I know that some of my other characters in my character pool does have it. So if we encounter this same type of event in the future, we might find a different outcome. So we're going to search. Examining the altar reveals no new information. It must be many years since a living creature set foot in this desolate place. You are seized by a strange restlessness and decide to leave this oppressive place as fast as you can. So, just story for you. So we're going to an unvisited location with something interesting. Might be enemies, might be something good. And it does not look good. Look at those, look at the heads. An old bunker. The bunker is half hidden among the sand dunes. It has been overrun. The entire bunker crew lies dead. The silence is broken only by the buzzing of the flies. You climb over the torn and mangled bodies and start to explore the strange structure. Once inside, a horde of vile creatures leap at you as you enter the room, so we're probably ambushed then. Blindsided, yeah. So that means I believe we're gonna get to move. Yeah, we're gonna get to move, but our enemies will get to move and attack. So these are zombies, it looks like, that we're facing off against. There's only one way to get to us. I can't really see very well here. Whether there's like a door here. I think that's just an open door. So... oh, you know what? That's inside the room already. So Bellamy will position you... you know what? No. Position you here. Shani will position you here. Omar here. And Baron here. Player turns. So these should be all... oh, these are cultists actually. Cultists with zombies. So they're hidden among them. So if there's another cultist, there's a spore bear, which I don't know what he does. Oh, we got 2 spore bears. I bet they shoot at you. So, what were we gonna do? Shani? That has changed my... actually, let's try this instead. Omar is gonna come up close and shoot the cultist. Oh no! I keep forgetting. We're ambushed, so we can only move and or attack this. Move or attack this turn. Let's do this. Oh no, we can't do that. Oh. So these things, these tower things are blocking. Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna move into position then. And Bellamy, can you shoot anyone? You can't shoot anyone. And the last person, Shani. She's gonna do nothing because I want to save the vanish, or I want to save the sprint, or even the bleed action for next turn. Let's see what the enemies are gonna do. Let's see how far zombies can walk. Not very far. That's fine. The zombies, cultists, and spore bearers are all enemies unique to this, at least this map. I haven't encountered zombies and cultists in the very first adventure. First adventure is just Nazis, basically. Nazis and dogs. Shoo. Okay. So now it's our turn. Okay. Oh, so you know what I'm going to do? Oh, it's too bad Bellamy can't move one more up. Otherwise I'll be able to shoot all 3 zombies. What I'll do instead is I'll move here, and we're going to use Meltdown on these 2 guys. So that's the advantage of a disintegrator weapon. It can shoot with unlimited range in one line and hit all the people. It probably won't kill everyone, but it'll at least weaken them to the point where you can kill them next turn. Let's see. Baron. Oh. Can you shoot this guy at least? Okay. That zombie's dead. We will go into ambush mode for him. And Shani, the question is, do we want Shani to kill this guy right here? Or do we want to kill the cult? Or do we want to like run up here? Good question. I think we're just going to kill the cultist. But that does mean the zombie is probably going to attack Shani. I'm hoping that her high evasion will be enough. Oh, okay. 14 damage is not too bad. The cultist moved in the ambush area and took damage. Those other 2 spore bearer guys did nothing, which is good, which I'm totally fine with. Let's see, the zombie has low health, low armor, so a knife attack should be enough, especially when it's doing 63 damage. I'm going to move her into position. Move Baron into a position. And ambush. We'll move our Omar into position. And since we have the action point, since we only moved and we're not shooting, we can reload if we want. No penalty for that. And finally Bellamy. We're fine. We have lots of supplies, although I don't think we have anyone that can heal. So, in a long mission, which this technically is, that might not be the best thing. Oh. That's weird. We didn't get to kill those spore guys. I think that might be a bug. You should be able to... Those spore guys that shot us from like the corners of the map, they should have been enemies that you would have had to defeat. So we got a knife, a stiletto, we got a clay idol, that's valuables. That's fuel, which is good. And a ritual dagger, which is more valuable. So, send it all there. We're good. You stand over the remains of your enemies when a sudden clattering noise in the next room makes you jump. You find a Nazi officer hiding among the files and overturned map tables. You notice a closed safe door with a combination lock in the wall behind him. Not another step, or I'll call for reinforcements. You quickly overpower the man. Unfortunately, he cannot tell you anything because he hid as soon as he heard the first sounds of a fight. Okay. Anyways, we can interrogate, we can threaten, search the room, or examine. The only real option we have is interrogate or examine, but we're just going to examine the safe. The officer refuses to cooperate, so you tie him up. I'll handle this. Baron puts his ear to the safe and carefully turns the dial. With a quiet click, the safe swings open. And more loot. Ooh, we got a epic assault rifle. I don't think any of our guys use assault rifles in this party. More ammo, which we don't need. And we got a offhand item. And this is unique. I've never encountered a unique one yet. So in all my playthrough, which is great. 10% damage versus Nazis. Fantastic. So, that's great. And you know who doesn't have an offhand weapon? Shani doesn't. So, we'll equip it. Now she'll do 10% additional damage to Nazis. Fantastic. There is a blue stiletto that she could equip, but although it being rare, it does the same damage. It does less armor shredding and less crit damage, so no point at all for her to hold on to it. And I don't believe any of my other characters needs a blue stiletto, so we're just going to send the valuables. Okay, we also got a nice assault rifle, which technically Omar could use if we want. But I like the fact that he does a lot of damage, 55 to 67. Okay, we have the road forks. We'll just go up here. Somewhere in the desert. You take a short break when a sudden shot shatters the silence. Fountains of sand explode at your feet. You immediately take cover and scan the rocky landscape with your eyes, but you cannot see the shooter. You rush out to scour the surrounding area, but your search is in vain. Warily, you continue your journey, but the mysterious attacker does not strike again. Okay, let's visit this location. Somewhere in the desert, the old radio you notice next to the tree turns out to be completely broken. You start your engine and leave. So we could go here, but just to show you, you could go back to a previous place. It'll still cost you fuel, and we'll go visit maybe this one that we haven't explored. So maybe you want more loot, more experience, you know, anything. Somewhere in the desert, the hills around you are filled with big bushes. You journey on after a quick stop. Oh, so that does nothing as well. We can keep looking because we still got a lot of fuel. I believe it's going to transfer over to the next map, so having a lot of fuel right now is fine. In the previous adventure, which is only one map large, you don't really need to save your fuel, so you can go backtrack as much as you like, as long as you can make it back to the X. So this indicates that this is the end of this specific map's adventure. But as we talked about many times, this specific adventure has at least 2 or 3 more maps. So this is the end of this map. So let's go. Some huts. As you reach the outer buildings of an abandoned village, a rifle shot comes out of nowhere. As fast as lightning, you veer off the track and jump out of your vehicle, diving behind some low walls for cover. Pew pew. Somewhere in the ruins, a voice shouts out, "Colonel von Otzen was right. We were being followed. I think we can handle this problem. Open fire." I can't do German. German voices. Okay, notice we got some different looking dogs there. Not our normal type of dogs. Blindsided. So, blindsided means that the enemies will get to move and shoot. I forget. So let's just take a look at where our enemies are. We have some directly south of us. Bottom right. We don't have anyone above us, so that's fine. So we got Bellamy that will place first. I think I can... No, I can't select someone else. Okay, so Bellamy is fine. Shani will move her closest. Omar right behind, and Baron right there. So only one action. So we're going to move Bellamy into cover. We're going to move... I wonder if we should just ambush. We're going to do ambush. Shani, technically we can just... We're bloodthirsty. We're just going to rush him. Oh, and I keep forgetting. He shouldn't have done that. Okay. And I'll move Omar. I'm hoping those dogs can't reach us. Okay, that's the end of the turn. So he tried to move. So that is a special unit. You'll notice that he's able to, instead of attacking, he can command an enemy to do an additional action. Typically it's a attack action. So dogs are flanking us all over the place. Let's see, what are we going to do? Shani. I want to move her into cover, although, you know what? She took a lot of damage. I'm just going to knife... I'm going to knife him. Although the dog is probably going to attack him. Let's see what Omar can do. I'm going to try this. Let's see. I'm going to move Omar here. If this doesn't work, he'll get attacked twice by dogs. Grenade. Killing both dogs. Dogs are a little bit weak in this game, but I think it's just because they can cover land quickly, because you'll notice this dog will be able to hit Shani. But it won't be able to if it runs into my ambush. And Bellamy, let's see, can he shoot anyone? Oh, he can. Let's do this. He'll go here, and he'll shoot this guy with a 100% chance. And he's dead. So we're done. And we'll end the turn. That last dog is going to run. He's by himself already. And Baron sniped him, protecting Shani. And let's see, can Shani reach this last guy? Almost. Oh, but we can dash. So we'll do that. So we're going to sprint all the way down to him. Although if we fail, then, which we will, because it's only doing 31 up to 38 damage, unless we crit, which I don't really know how much damage crit does, whether it's double damage, 1.5 times, I'm not too sure. Okay, so Baron will rush forward. I don't think that's enough. Nope. So we'll just reload for him. And then Bellamy, though. Bellamy can maybe shoot this guy. Yeah, Bellamy can shoot this guy. Going into position right there. And we will do a ranged... Oh no, he can't. He can't do Quantum Leech, so I don't understand. Oh. That's not good. Oh well, doesn't matter. And Omar can't do anything. So, since that's the only guy left, we won't worry. Ooh. If a party member loses all their life, I believe... I've never encountered this because... just due to the difficulty level of these beginning adventures, and I've never put it too hard. I've never had a character lose all their health in combat. But I believe you can use medkits outside of combat to revive them. Yeah. So let's just kill this guy. Let's bleed him. And we're done. So a little bit harder than the average combat. Okay, so in the officer's map case, you find some torn Bible pages. You scan the pages and find a passage underlined in pencil. And the Lord God said, Behold, Adam became as one of us, to know God and evil. He drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword, which turned every way, to guard the way the tree of life with the wrath of God. Perturbed, you shake your heads. More loot. So we got a rare assault rifle, a rare armor, heavy armor. We got a flask, which is just 25 bucks, which is very bad. Medium ammo box, which is good because we're going to the next map after this. And we got some more buttons. So my Jeep storage 1 is filled, but remember I have 2 over here. So let's continue. And notice we're going from this map now to here. So a lot of people once again complained that Pathway seemed really short. And it would seem short because the very first adventure only had that one map, and then that was it. And then you would go to this adventure. And if you didn't give it a proper look, you wouldn't know, or you would think that the second adventure was literally just one map again. But it's not. This map, we finished this map, we're going now into Syria. After this map, it looks like we're going to go into Turkey, the border of Turkey and Syria. And I believe from there we're going to go to this X area at the top. So this, I honestly haven't tried the third adventure yet, but I can't imagine it being as short as one map. It'll typically be at least, a few maps for each adventure now. So we're going to click continue. The Syrian desert. The Rocky Mountain track provides an excellent view of the arid Syrian desert stretching out below you. You carefully follow the narrow hairpin bends on your way down. Suddenly, Baron steps on the brakes and points excitedly to the scree slope below you, a wrecked Wehrmacht Jeep. You get out to investigate. 3 dead soldiers lie around the car. They appear to have died as a result of the accident, but you can't be certain. You quickly search the car. You're in luck. In the truck, you find a half-full jerry can and a small supply crate. So we got some loot. So you get this stuff right away, and I got this the same time, the last time I did this, is because the game is expecting you to be, okay, like you're running out of fuel probably at this point. You're much less than what I have. Like maybe you actually did some searching around and you're less than 10 fuel. You're maybe 5 fuel, and that's kind of a scary amount to have because 5 fuel is not going to get you to the end of the map. So we got some more fuel. We got some more supplies because it's thinking that you need supplies, and also we need to heal our guys. And one thing we didn't see on the last map was there are places where you can heal, you can rest up, like oasis, and we didn't encounter any, so that's where you typically heal if you don't have any healing items, and none of our guys have healing items or the heal skill. But even if you have the heal skill, you need the healing item to do so. So we'll take the items. We have too much ammo, which is fine. We're done. And as you can see, this is the new map. And let's see, is there any... So on the map, it doesn't show, at least right now, it doesn't show any places to rest. So our guys, like Shani, might be in trouble because we don't have any health items, and she's kind of low on health. So we'll have to be a little bit more conservative with her. But I'm going to stop the video right here because I believe I've shown you basically what Pathway is about. Basically, we're going to start in this left corner. We can choose our own adventure. We might get the opportunity to pick up a person, but because our team is full, we'll have to maybe kick someone out. There's more unique adventures, places to sell, and other stories that we'll encounter. And we'll try to make our way with 13 plus or minus fuel to this end place right here to finish this map and get to the next map. So that's my video for Pathway. I hope you enjoyed it and provided you insight for you to determine whether you'll pick up the game or not. I bought it at only like $11 Canadian. I feel like I've totally got my money's worth already from the enjoyment I have. I really like it. As you can see, I'm always into like the story type of games where combat is fast and fun and enjoyable, not like aggravating and like challenge is important, but you know, it has to be fun, a fun challenge. So but that being said, check out the rest of my channel for videos on board games, video games, and other fun things. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you like this game, if you don't like the game, and whether maybe hopefully it maybe helps you decide to get the game. Maybe you like it as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.